going on, guys? It is the boy Soldier back again with a brand new video. This is like the first video I've made in a long time. I was actually planning out this huge like formal introductory to the channel with this car, and I just wanted to make something like real and a lot more authentic, you know, off the top of my head, and kind of explain everything, you know, how the whole story happened, how I was able to get like, you know, a $300,000 2022 G63. These are going for 100 grand over sticker, and currently have a 2-year wait time in order to get this car. Now I'm 21 years old, and that kind of seems like, why would you do that? And to be fair, I actually got this car very, very comfortably. For those who know, for those who have seen the channel, they know the businesses I run, they've seen the come up, so it makes sense. But to a lot of people, this might seem very outlandish, and you know, I'll explain exactly why, how I got this car, and why it is just so special to me and something I've always wanted to fully own outright. Now, I've had tons of experience with the G63 in my time, but owning this car is what meant everything. So for those of you who saw my Instagram story on it, you already know this is old news. Anyways, I think the best way to go about this is kind of just explain my come up story, explain, you know, how I started out, you know, from 18 years old to when I got my first Mercedes AMG, to now being 21 and having 2 AMGs, one being the 2020 C43 and one being the 2022 G63. Now that's quite the jump, I understand, but I'm always for living below your means. So, you know, at the time, the C43, that was what I wanted. It was very easy. I didn't have to think about it. At this time, you know, the G63, it's what I wanted. It's very easy. I don't have to think about it. But this actually goes way back to high school when I started Shopify Dropshipping. Now, you can look on my channel. I've been posting about it for a couple of years now, but actually even a year before that, I was successful in dropshipping, successful in e-commerce. Now, whether it came from back in middle school, buying, selling, flipping shoes on eBay, doing different things, you know, during high school with brand deals and promos, flipping whatever I could, and just getting experience with e-commerce. So about 3 years ago, I'd say, you know, Facebook ads changed my life. At this point, I was running Facebook ads. So basically every day, you know, at school, I would use every single dollar I made, every single paycheck I got, I would put it into ads. And I knew that, and even though, you know, I was losing tons of money, some people, you know, they were buying designer stuff, and I was like, oh man, I put all my money into ads, whatever. Let me play this clip back from one of my old videos. $1,914 on ads this month. I mean, you could be spending that on like Gucci or whatever, but I spent it on ads. But guys, just yes, so I was always spending my money on ads no matter what, and I think that's one thing that separated me. At the time, not a lot of people, especially when they're young, are cool with like losing $500, $1,000, you know, testing around, gathering and basically buying data in order to succeed. So when you're doing that, all of a sudden you become very, very serious about business. You actually care a lot about what you're doing because at the time you're losing money. Now, losing money is actually, in my eyes, I look at it now, it's kind of like a good thing. It's a learning experience, because those little learning experiences down the long run when you're scaling, of course, can save you thousands on thousands of dollars. So I was always trying to use my money to learn, gather as much data as possible. But yeah, guys, so I just want you to like listen carefully to this video, because I'm pretty much just gonna like spill it all, tell it all exactly what I did, like my whole process, and maybe this is something you end up following. I don't know, but it's like literally proven it works. So, but before we get into the video, I just want to say, if you guys could like, drop a comment. I'm getting back to every single comment. And if you guys also want personal like one-on-one consulting or mentoring when it comes to e-commerce, you can hit me up in the DMs. And if you want to be in the group chat with all the killers, all the young killers that are running up crazy money, you know, that is going to be the Black Hat Discord, the #1 e-commerce Discord. But yeah, so basically this all goes back to, you know, I'd say when it really started to accelerate is when I started to put all of my time and effort onto Facebook ads. And like I said, everybody else, you know, they were half-assing it if they're trying. They'd lose 50 bucks. They were too afraid to lose money, and they'd rather go spend on weed or alcohol or go party with their friends. And where I was sitting there, and literally every dollar I was counting exactly what it did on Facebook. And I just worked so hard until, you know, after about a year of running ads and losing money, I was able to turn a profit one day. And that day was huge for me. I'd say that was the one day where I realized, like, holy shit, like I just made money online, you know. I woke up at noon today and I didn't do anything, so I just let it run another day. And as I did, you know, I spent 50 bucks and I returned another 200 in profit. And that kept going on for a few days, and then, you know, my Facebook pixel was able to optimize, and all of a sudden I went from literally, and it's crazy because e-com, and anyone with success in e-com knows it works this fast. It works so fast when you start you know, going from nothing to all of a sudden you're profiting 200 to 300 a day, then you double the budget, now you're profiting, you know, 600, 700 a day, then you double the budget, and you're profiting 1,000 a day. And with Facebook, it was awesome because the results would stay so consistent. Again, it worked a lot different than TikTok ads, which I do now, and we'll get into it. TikTok ads is how you see me scale to like 50, 100K days. And again, that is gross sales. You know, I'm running at about 20% net I'm running at about a 20% net margin at that scale, so I'm not making as much as it actually looks like, but, you know, I do have a very high top line, something that I think is pretty dope. So, you know, you're spending this money and all of a sudden you go from making, you know, nothing, losing money to, you know, within a week or two, you're making $1,000 a day profit consistently, and that's, again, like I said, the beauty of Facebook. So I sat there. You know, I just kept making $1,000 every day. Every day just felt like I was high on life. And this is when I got that first car. I still have it. It's in my driveway. But yes, I got the first car and I was like ecstatic. And then every day after that, I was still making 1,000 a day, 1,000 a day, 1,000 a day. Now I'm like, at that point, you know, I'm 18 years old. I'm thinking like, okay, no one's better than me. It was bad. It's bad. Trust me. I don't think like that at all now. But I had so much confidence. It was a little too much. And then that one day came where boom, the ad account got shut down. Within about I had to go through the new profile, use a family or friends, blah, blah, blah. And within about a month, I was able to get my results back. And then the ad account got shut down again, and I wasn't able to get those results back for over a year. Now, in that year, I had good days. I had, you know, some 5K days, 10K days, but I wasn't able to get it consistently like I originally had it. The only way I could get those results, you know, was turning and burning ad accounts every single day of my life. And then iOS 14.5 came along and absolutely destroyed it. When iOS 14.5 came along, TikTok ads, they were out, but it was a completely different system that you see now. Again, these were Indian reps. We were from the ground up. Now it's US reps, but you had a lot more flexibility. There wasn't CBO. And when we were running our ads, it was crazy because you could spend $50 and return $500 in one day, you know, a 10 ROAS at the time with TikTok ads. But the problem is not a lot of people knew how to actually, you know, run the ads, how to get them to spend. So this goes back to very early 2021. All of a sudden we were returning, you know, a 10 ROAS. This was a better return on ad spend than we ever had with Facebook. So we were doing this, we're running ads. Now, one thing I do want you guys to take away from that is that persistence during the downfall, or the persistence during the downtrend, to keep, you know, that's one of those things that I learned from now that I can look at, because now I have the confidence that I could do anything I want, and you should too, because you literally can. But during that whole time I was down, I stayed persistent because I knew I could do it. I knew I could get it back, and I knew if I could systemize it all and I could figure out a way to, you know, get everything working together and working for me, I could create something huge, way bigger than I ever had before. And that's exactly what I did. So I had that persistence, I kept going, and during all the downfall, you know, instead of going back to work, or instead of settling with something I didn't want to, I stayed in the same business. And now I love e-commerce because it gives you that vehicle to where you can literally take it to any level you want. And now I know so much about it to where I can literally get paid out for life on a monthly basis and everything in between. So if you guys ever want help, you know, setting anything up, you can actually hit me up, and I'll just have the team who runs all my stores just run it exactly as I would my own, because I get DMs about it like all the time. So I'm just saying that, I'm putting it out there. But yeah, so it was a huge learning lesson for me when I was able to go back to turning profit. It was huge, and all of a sudden I got extremely motivated again. You know, motivation, it's something that really only comes when you're doing well or when you're doing good. It's really hard to trick yourself into being motivated. But whenever you can get that little spark, whenever you can get that little bite, you know, take it to the fullest extent. Keep going with it. So I was extremely motivated, and you know, every day I woke up and I ran these TikTok ads, and I was going every single day, and you know, I was spending more, I was on the platform more, and I was learning way more than anybody else at a lot faster rate. I was learning the exact output for my input. I was learning everything about these ad accounts, how they worked. Even though they looked exactly like Facebook, they operate in completely different ways. You know, the algorithm optimized in a different way. So you know, I was taking in literally every everything. And now that I've developed a system, and still to this day, like, no, maybe a handful of advertisers know like what I'm talking about, but you know, I could go against any blue chip big digital marketing agency, whatever it is, and I could still turn a harder profit than any of them, because I know exactly what to do. And when, you know I can actually feel out the whole ad account. I can feel out, you know, how everything's optimizing within the video optimization algorithm. So it's crazy. Now I just have it down to a T. But yeah, so for like basically the last over a year now, you know, I was running TikTok ads, running them, and they were just so profitable that I was actually able to acquire much more capital than I ever thought I would. So, you know, let's take it back, you know, let's take it back a year now. So about a year ago this time, you know, I ran up my first $100,000 in profit. You know, I had $100,000 in my bank account. And this is from TikTok, whereas before with Facebook, you know, I was going in between 20, 30, 15, 40, 20. I was kind of stuck, whereas I finally found a vehicle, okay, where now I can make more profit for less dollar. So I just kept milking it, scaling it as much as I could, and then boom, all of a sudden, you know, I was so cash positive, you could see. So yeah, so I was very, very cash positive. I was able to spend a lot more on ads finally, because, you know, basically I manipulated the TikTok $50 CBO and just use it to my full extent. So this led to bigger days, and this led to a lot more recognition. So with that recognition, I was able to build some connections and learn a lot more about the deeper ends of e-commerce. So you can segue so many different ways in e-com. And again, you know, if you need, that's all in the Discord, all this stuff, you know, exactly as we did the whole process. But it's crazy. It's just crazy to me, like, how fast this stuff works. And if you actually genuinely believe that you can do it, you can. Like earlier I said in the video, at this point in my life, I have the confidence I could do anything I want, and you should too. Now, it's going to be hard to have that confidence when you don't have a bite, when you don't have something somewhat working or something you can kind of work off of. But if I could tell you one thing, anything in e-commerce, anything in online business, money is always going to be there. There is money in every word said. There's money in every transaction made. I've been successful in e-commerce for about 4 years. I've been doing e-commerce, you know, I guess, as I said, yeah, like since middle school with eBay and all that stuff. If you see a lifestyle you want, or you see a life that you want to live, I say just go for it. The reason I originally got into it was because I just didn't want to, you know, have to go to work or wake up early or answer to anybody else. And, you know, I got that and much, much more. You know, it all starts somewhere. It all starts with something. So, you know, really with Shopify dropshipping, it's been such a long, painful journey, but, you know, I couldn't ask for anything better. So like you see this awesome car, I don't want it to say, I don't want to make this whole video kind of about the car. I actually more so wanted to make it about, you know, the learning lessons I faced in becoming to where I am today. You know, at 21 years old, amassing millions of dollars within e-commerce. You know, I just want to say kind of the steps I took, you know, generating millions of dollars in e-commerce, just how fast things can work out. And even, you know, if you're in the game and you're kind of not doing so hot at the moment, just stay in there and stay persistent, because you can tell someone to do anything, but if they don't have the mindset, it won't work. It's just like leading the horse to water, but you can't make it drink. If you listen to this kind of mindset, you know, have the confidence you can do anything you want, and always be learning at all times, always be that student, working as hard as you can, trying to understand everything you think. No, I'm not saying you need to go on some crazy schedule and dedicate your whole life, because I sure wasn't the guy waking up at 5 a.m. taking cold showers. I woke up whenever I want, and again, that's one of those things that I always have wanted in my e-commerce community. I'm more so the guy who was working till 5 in the morning, you know, pounding Red Bulls, watching every cent of my ad spend, doing every little adjustment to my offer. Again, so many people think it's a winning product, guys. It's a winning offer. It's an orchestration of things. It's having the SMS, the upsells, having the, you know, the price gouge right. It's having it's having the creative optimized towards the right audience. It's a mixture of things, and if you can understand that, and if you can find success, you know, replicating success is so much easier than finding success. So I'm telling you, once you get that first hit, you'll actually know always what to do and when, and you can kind of work off of your previous data, your previous knowledge. I don't want to get too in-depth, because obviously this video isn't about ad strategies, you know, it's not about CPMs and CTRs and things like that. It's kind of more the come-up story, you know, how I was able to do it. Currently, I have $400,000 in cars, and I was able to easily do this Shopify dropshipping. So I'm extremely grateful, extremely blessed for that. And you know, it's crazy because I've always worked, it's like I'm looking at this stuff and it's not even luck to me. You know, I actually worked that hard, and I genuinely believe I deserve it. And so should you. So this isn't some fairy tale, this isn't some fantasy. It shouldn't be for you either. It's literally like I always have the mindset, as well, as I say, like everything's too easy. I learned so much in the Call of Duty community, and just kind of growing with those people. All I gotta say, you know, always be learning, be passionate, give it your all, and believe. Just if you believe you can do it, you can literally do anything. As cliche as it sounds, so many people, you know, oh, they'll go, oh, I agree with that, blah, blah, but then they don't do it. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope I didn't leave out too much. If you guys have any questions, please drop them down below. I'll do my best to get back to everybody. But, you know, let's go on I think we should go on a drive together. We got this awesome car. I want to show it to you guys. So, without further ado, let's do it. So as you guys can see here, we got 451 miles right now. You know, I got this brand new again, but I've been whipping it. I've been trying to break it in so I can go hard. As you see, we got the camera going. Wow, just look at this thing. I don't want to like record too much and drive, but oh, look at this. You can see we are coming in hot, baby. We are coming in very, look at that. Look at that. Woo. All right, so there's like carbon everywhere. This is a handmade V8 twin turbo engine. And yeah, it's just everything I ever wanted. I'm honestly like the worst at vlogging and driving. I don't think this is safe. I don't know if it's safe, but we're doing it. Let's give it a little kick down. Holy shit. Holy, yeah. So this puppy has like 600 horsepower. This isn't not your average G-Wagon, people. But yeah, it's fun. It's a nice little toy at 21. Shout out TikTok ads for the big scale. Shout out Facebook ads for teaching me that I could do it and make some crazy money online. And I will tell you right now, I am always, for the rest of my life, gonna be in e-commerce. This is the best stuff ever. It's an endless vehicle and you can always build upon it. And there's just so much more opportunity, and even when you think there's not, there's just the craziest stuff behind the door. So, man, I'm just so excited for life. I'm so excited to keep going and just, you know, keep killing shit. So yeah, guys, that has pretty much done it for this video. I'm gonna get some shots of the outside of the car now and kind of put them in a little montage, I think at the beginning or here, but you know, that's pretty much it for me. Again, guys, please join the Discord. Hit me up if you need anything. Drop comments down below. Like the video. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out, soldier up, and salute.